Good morning, you guys. I am moving with my plants today. I cannot believe this day is finally here. I'm getting a late start. It's like heading towards 11 a.m. and I got hardly any sleep last night. I'm going to be so tired today. But I am going to be vlogging this portion of the video, and I think I'll make a separate video on tips and tricks, but for this video I'm just going to do it like vlog style and show you guys what I'm going to be doing with my plants and loading them up and packing them up. And like once I get there, I'll show you a bit of unloading the plants and what I plan to do with them. And it's cold today. It's like not even 50, and I'm hoping it warms up more. I cannot believe the cold weather we have gotten these last few days. I was not prepared to move plants in cold weather, so hopefully it warms up a bit today. It is gloomy and like rainy and cold, and it's going to storm I think tomorrow, so it's just going to be the weather is not in my favor, but it's going to be okay. I have a ton of packing supplies here and more in my garage. And since it's a bit cold, what I'm going to do is I cleared off my bar behind me, the countertop, and I am going to be bringing my plants, packing them up, and then like waiting till the last minute, I think, to load them, and just hoping the weather warms up and just have them ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to be starting here in a little bit, and I'll kind of show you, I don't know how this video is going to be and how the vlog is going to be, but I'll kind of show you my process in packing them up and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get started here shortly and get busy on packing them. As you can see, it is a bit of a mess. I have not started packing yet. I started bringing stuff in from the garage. I have some leftover like plastic things that nurseries use for their plants, so I'm going to be using some of those. And I have tons of like plastic crates and cardboard. This one here is going to be for my greenhouse. I think most of my plants can fit in here, and in order to kind of lock in humidity, I am going to use that crate and keep that lid closed for them temporarily. And I have tons of cardboard I'm going to be using. I have tons of baskets and plastic bins I can use, and I have like bigger boxes I can use, all kinds of stuff. So I am going to start unloading and packing everybody. I have plants on that shelf. I have hanging ones still. I have some bigger plants hanging up there too. I have this whole shelf, and then most of my plants are upstairs. I have like 150 plants upstairs. I need to try and pack, but I also want to film, so I can't do too much filming, you know, because I'm running out of time, because I need to leave in like 4 to 5 hours. So I have to package all these plants and everything in that amount of time. So yes, let me go get started and grab some plants. All right, so I'm starting to pack, and I have a ton of these crates, so I'm just like, I can probably fit like 6 plants each in here. And I am using this water bottle and just like watering a little bit of the plants. This thing is so helpful because I can just like squeeze it in there. And I'm just like giving a little water on top so the dirt kind of stays in place so they don't go flying. And I put some paper just to kind of protect some of the leaves, because I'm going to be having like crates next to each other, so I think this will work. So I'm going to fill up all these crates that I have with about 6 plants each and do this. And I have like crates and stuff too, because I think this is probably going to be better than using boxes, because the boxes that I have are just so big, and I can use these for my large plants. Like I put my palm tree, I have 2 monsteras that I squished in here, and I have another like ponytail palm, like a huge ponytail palm down there too. And I didn't water any of these guys. I honestly think they'll be fine. They're in a box, so if some dirt spills, I'm not too worried. peduncles. Yes. What do you want? Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to wrap my Pilea peperomioides because I feel like this is like the hardest plant to figure out how to wrap because I don't want to hurt any of the stems. So I think I'm going to try and squeeze as many of these in the pot without breaking them and just like gently wrap the paper up around it and place it in its own like little separate container. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I did end up finding a little bit of cardboard mesh that I taped around the pot, and then I'm going to fold this up around the plant. I think that's probably the best way to protect it. So I'm glad I found that because I literally packed all of my plant packing supplies and everything up, but I got lucky to find that still hanging around. All right, so this is what it looks like. So I will probably slide this into another crate or something with other plants because that's like, I feel like this is going to be the hardest one though. I think the rest of them, I'm just letting them freely hang out in the bins. And you guys, like, this is like all the plants that I have downstairs. I have these 2 boxes packed, and I don't think I can fit anything else in this one. It's a lot of my larger hanging plants. And that shelf is now empty. I put all my snake plants into that box, and I took down all the hanging plants. This entire shelf is empty now. It is so crazy. I took down all the plants off the curtain rods. That is empty. So everything is empty down here. And this isn't even a fourth of my plants. Like I have 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4, 5 boxes of plants in all these crates, and I have like 150 more to pack up upstairs. So yes, it's gonna be interesting. So yes, it's probably heading towards like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So I really only have like a few hours left to try and get the rest of this stuff packed up. So we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of running out of boxes though. And that one's going to be for my greenhouse. And I have like all these extra plant stands I'm going to have to pack up too. So yeah, I'm going to head upstairs now and figure out how to get the rest of this stuff packed up. It's so crazy. It's like so empty in here. I just can't believe it. It's so weird without any plants. Okay, I am now starting on bringing plants that are upstairs down here. I think because everything is down here, like all the packing stuff, I'm just going to make 100 trips up and down the stairs and bring everything down here and start packing them the same way because I just think that's going to be easier than trying to pack up there and then bring them down. So yes, I'm getting a workout in today, so I'll keep you guys updated on the progress on all the plants up there. Hello you guys, I am beat. It has been probably like 3 hours since I came on here last with packing my plants. It's almost 5 p.m. and I am exhausted. I have not even packed the truck yet. I just got like so overwhelmed, and taking all the plants down here from upstairs just took forever. I just took apart my greenhouse and got all my plants that were in there in a bin, and I'm going to show you kind of what else I did. And taking my moss poles down and trying to secure them, and I still have to secure them in the truck. So I am just like, and I still have to drive to Savannah tonight. It's like I'm not going to be there till like 11 something or midnight, and I have to unpack the truck, and I have to turn around that morning and drive back here to help my husband and his brother. He's going to come in and help us pack. My husband just left to go pick him up from the airport. And I'm coming back in the morning to help them load up the truck and I gotta come get my car, and I'm taking the kitties, and my husband is taking the dog and his vehicle, and his brother is driving the big truck for us. So that is the plan. That's how we worked it all out as far as moving all the pets and everything, so, and getting our vehicles there. I am just beat. This is like 100% real, you guys. I had to change my shirt. I'm sweaty. I am a mess. I'm gonna do another video and tell you guys like tips that I have learned so far that I wished I had started way sooner, because trying to pack all your plants in one day and moving them in one day, it is rough, you guys. It is rough. And I'm staying the night in an empty house by myself, so I have to pack an overnight bag. And like, I'm probably going to forget a bunch of stuff, and it's going to be scary staying in an empty house. I'm probably not going to get any sleep. I'm probably just going to turn around and come right back home, honestly. Who knows? I'm just like, I'm so tired. But let me flip this around and let me show you what I have done. It is a hot mess, you guys. Every single one of my plants is currently down here now. I have taken apart my greenhouse there, and I brought all of my upstairs plants down. A lot of these are like Hoyas in here. I have like my string of plants in that bin. I have like Syngoniums, just random Hoyas and other plants, more Syngoniums, just all kinds of plants. I ended up using like any bins that I had left and plastic bins that I could find, and I still have a lot of extra bins. I ended up packing a couple of large boxes of plants. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I have to close this one up. This was just like random big plants that I had still upstairs, so I'll probably just stuff some paper in there and box that up. I have a couple of closed containers here. This is like small Hoyas that were able to be closed. This was some props that were in water. I ended up putting them in a paper towel in a Ziploc bag, and I ended up chopping this moss pole because I did not have time to take this guy apart yet, and I'm just keeping the top cut, and he's actually rooted into that moss, so I just cut the pole. I will deal with him later. And this is just some like random succulents that I threw in a box. So that's what's in there, and let me show you what I have done with my poles and everything else. So I don't know where this box came from. Something probably got delivered in it, but it's like tall and skinny, and then I have one that's long here, and these are some extra plants in my greenhouse that I cannot fit in that bin. All of my greenhouse plants are in that bin and that small one there, so these are a few that are left out that I just unfortunately cannot pack in there, so I hope they do okay in normal humidity for a while. But these are some smaller poles. And so I ended up having a lot of these trays that were from plant nurseries, and I actually saved them, and they're perfect to fit some nursery pots in. I have a few different sizes. I actually use these most in that bin to put my greenhouse plants in, and I'll show you. But this one fit a few of these 5-inch nursery pots perfectly. And I ended up like taking a string and taping my poles around the box to help secure it, so when they like wobble in the truck, they don't like tip over. And I'm actually going to secure the box with more rope. I have a different string other than that, and I'm going to be tying the boxes to the truck. And once I do that, I'll show you what I did to help secure them in place so they don't tip over. And this is actually the taller moss poles. This Marble Queen is actually the tallest pole that I have. It's pretty tall. It's probably at least 5 feet, I would say, or close to it. So I did the same thing. I didn't have any trays, but these are all in like pretty large pots. So I accidentally spilled the Marble Queen pot because I had to shove that guy down in there. So there is dirt all over the place down there. So my poles, the backside is pretty empty because the plant is facing one direction. So I ended up turning the plants that had the leaves not against the box. This one kind of got squished a little bit, my Adansonii, but so I ended up doing that and tying the strings around the flap to help secure them, because I can like wobble this and they're not going to fall. And I put a little extra tissue to support the bases down there. And same thing, I am going to be tying this inside the truck very securely so that they don't wobble, because I don't think these poles are going to be going anywhere down the interstate. At least I hope not. There's just going to be sphagnum moss everywhere. And I misted these the best I could. I did not have time to water my poles. So the moss is unfortunately dry for a lot of these, but I did go around with my mister and my little water bottle, and I tried to water and mist everything that I could. So we'll see how it goes. I have a cactus planter in here, and those were all my other plants. I have a couple things up here. These are some other like monsteras. I have a terrarium in here. These are my quarantine plants. I have a monstera that I don't know has thrips. I treated it just in case. I haven't seen any bugs, but just as a precaution, it's been in quarantine for like the last few weeks, and I have not had a chance to even do anything with that plant. And I love it dearly. It's my oldest monstera, so I cannot get rid of it. And that's a pothos that had some spider mites and questionable thrips. So I just have him kind of with a plastic bag. That's how I'm going to transport them in the truck. So that's what it is. I don't want to get rid of any of those plants. And then let me take you. This place is such a mess. I have got to get this place together. And this is the random box of like succulents or snake plants and like a taller trellis. I'm probably going to stuff some paper in there so that doesn't move. I'm not going to be able to close a few of these. I do have some pretty tall plants, believe it or not, in my greenhouse. My Frydek actually got kind of squished in here. So I had to like bend his top leaf right here. But I used all of those nursery pot containers, and they all like fit perfectly in there. It was like a big puzzle piece. So all the nursery pots fit in all of those plastic containers perfectly. And I had some bigger pots that are just free flowing in here, but they're pretty snug against each other. I'm not worried about anything tipping over. But yeah, this is how it's going to have to be. I didn't have a chance to water any of these guys, so if I don't have time, they're just going to have to be fine until I unload them. And I'm going to have to put together my greenhouse again, so these plants aren't shut in this box for multiple days. So once I get there, I'm going to have to unload all my plants and put this greenhouse back together until they're going to have to live in there until I get my IKEA cabinet set up, which is probably going to be a while. And this is like some smaller plants that were in my greenhouse I put in here, and I used another one of those trays. Those are like small enough that I could put in a small one. So, oh man. So I think that is all the plants. It is going to be rough getting these all packed up, and my husband can't help me because he had to go pick his brother up from the airport. So I am loading everything by myself. So I'm going to take a few carts and plant stands, and I have a few grow lights I'm going to be taking with me as well, so my plants can get some light. Yeah, once we actually move in on Friday, I'm not going to really have a whole lot of time to mess with plants because we're going to need to put together like shelves. I need to like unpack everything, and I don't even know how I'm going to do it. I am just beat. I am so tired. I did not get that much sleep last night. And packing up all these plants is so stressful. And just the thought of having to drive 4.5, 5 hours to Savannah tonight to unpack all these, I just like want to cry. It just like, I just feel so just like drained. I don't know. I was excited this morning, but I just ran out of time. It's already getting so late. So yeah, I'm going to get off of here and finish packing a few various things. And I'm going to load up the truck, and then I'll show you what I've done with the truck and packing up the truck. All right, you guys, it is almost 7 o'clock p.m. I am so tired. It is starting to get dark. I am dreading this trip with my plants. You just don't even know. I'm dreading it so much. So this truck had just enough room for all of my plants. I had to take apart my greenhouse because it wouldn't fit, and I was able to bring some lamps, and I have like a suitcase and a box up front as well. But I literally stuffed this thing full of plants. I hope nothing falls on the road. The boxes here aren't secured, but everything else I kind of tied with this wrap to secure it so it doesn't move too much. I secured all my moss poles too. I'll go around there and show you that. And I secured the boxes up front so they wouldn't fall. So we'll see. I'm hoping I don't have too many casualties on the drive. Nothing bumpy that will fall too bad. We'll see how it goes. Let me take you around this way. Alright, so it's kind of hard to see, but I ended up tying the boxes with the moss poles to the actual truck itself, and I did the same thing with the other side. So that's my best method. I tied the insides and the outsides. So they should be good. I even brought my liquid dirt water. And the front is just slam packed with my suitcase because I have to sleep there tonight. So yes, I'm not looking forward to this at all. I cannot believe I have to drive almost 5 hours to turn around and come back in the morning, and I have to unpack everything before, once I get there. I'm not looking forward to this, you guys, but this is it. This is the truck, so here you go. I'm not going to vlog unpacking my plants or anything. I'm running out of phone storage filming this, so I'm going to probably do one last video once I'm there and have everything unpacked just to show you. And then I'm going to make a separate video on like tips and tricks and like consolidate everything that I learned in the process. So yeah, this will probably pretty much be it minus the one last video at the end, and look forward to part 2. So if I don't get to do an outro, this is my outro. I'm tired, I'm ready to get there, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Guys, it is almost 2 o'clock in the morning and I just got here. I am so tired. I have to unpack this entire truck and bring them all inside. I literally just want to shower and go to sleep. I'm gonna have to like leave by like 9 o'clock in the morning. I actually need to leave sooner because it's supposed to storm, like thunderstorm all day tomorrow, which is gonna suck because we're gonna go back home. Well, it's just me here, but I'm gonna meet my husband and his brother back home, and we are going to load everything else up. So, and it's gonna storm, which is just lovely, but all right, let me get this van unpacked and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. All right, vlog, this is all of my plants right here. You're looking at every single plant I own, and there's 2 right there in quarantine. I am so tired. I cannot unpack anybody because the painter is not done yet. I have bins and bins and bins of plants. They're just gonna have to hang out like this. I'm going to try and mist these guys in the morning before I head out. And that's like all my greenhouse there, and there's like one more box in my greenhouse there. But yeah, I am just so tired and exhausted. I look hideous. I need to go shower and try and get a couple hours of sleep so I can head back in the morning. I want to try and beat the storms. I don't know what time they're coming, but I think I'm only gonna sleep like a couple hours. Yeah, thank you for watching part 1 of my moving vlog. It was rough. I just feel like it was a rough process. I got like very stressed there in the middle of all that and just was overwhelmed, but I'm glad they're all here now. So it's nice to see them all here at least. So yeah, I will chat with you guys a bit later. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more of my plant content that I'm going to share. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you want to chat with anything about moving your plants, like any questions you have, or if you moved your plants, like what helped you with your process. So everyone can learn from each other and help each other out. So thank you so much for watching, and I will chat with you guys soon. I know I ended the vlog yesterday, but I just wanted to show you my setup real quick. I'm actually going to be misting my moss poles real quick, and I just turned on some grow lights that I had for now. So this is going to be the setup until we come back here. So I just wanted to show you the craziness that's going on.